Yesterday, we thought we were on the brink of a showdown between two different groups outside of Congresswoman Maxine Water's office. Now, what we expected were that the right-wing Oath Keepers organization was going to be there attempting to intimidate the Congresswoman, bringing guns and all of that. And it was likely that counter-protesters would come out to protest against them. And we know how that has gone in a number of different instances in the US. A little bit worrisome. Didn't actually happen though. But the protest, which was announced earlier this week, was, this is their language, by the way, the Oath Keepers. It was against Maxine Water's incitement of terrorism.
Lies.
And a stand for ICE and the Border Patrol as they enforce the perfectly constitutional immigration and naturalization laws of this nation, which Trump is ignoring in a number of cases. That's what they put on their website, by the way. That's the SPLC. Authorities had been in contact with the group apparently though, and it was decided that they would not come in order to ensure peace. That said, just in case it still happened, counter-protesters did still show up. They gathered by the dozens and remained long after the Oath Keepers had apparently bailed on their original promise to appear at the office. Now, at one point, someone did take a flag off of a pickup truck, doused it in oil, and set it on fire, chanting "America was never great." So that part of it is unfortunate, of course. But at least the potential fight between these two groups did not happen. And Maxine Waters herself had been worried that that was a possible outcome. She had warned people not to counter-protest, actually. She said that Oath Keepers would like nothing more than to inflame racial tensions and create an explosive conflict in our community.
Can I say three things real quick? First of all, hashtag abolish ICE. Second thing is hashtag abolish ICE. And the third thing I'd like to say is hashtag abolish ICE.
At least that does not lack clarity. Okay, so I have a number of different opinions on this. So first of all, Oath Keepers are disastrous. They carry weapons around with them and come in camouflage. And so when they start saying Maxine Waters is enabling terrorism and I'm gonna come with my weapon, that's a recipe for disaster. So thank God they didn't show up. And I agree with Maxine Waters that I would not want counter-protesters there. So now, as it turns out, Oath Keepers didn't show up anyway, but thank God for that, because if they had, with clearly some of the counter-protesters had, were in a frenzied state, okay, in my opinion. If they had met the Oath Keepers in a frenzied state and one side has gasoline with them and the other side has weapons with them, it's only a matter of time before something like this explodes. So don't do it, don't do it. And if some lunatic right-wingers are going, whether they've got guns or don't, take them. Look, outside of Charlottesville, and yes, Charlottesville was shocking that there appeared to be a couple hundred of them there. But almost every other right-wing protest is 17 people. Just let them be goofballs by themselves, march around like jackasses and go home, okay? So now the third thing is really important. This, I don't know who did this. We in fact called some of the unions that were present. They're like, we did not participate in that part, right? And because I'm trying to figure out who the hell did it, because ripping the American flag, first of all, from somebody's truck, private property, terrible, and could lead to violence if that person then wants their property back, and it's wrong and it's illegal, etc. Saying F the government, America was never great. Okay, I don't agree with that, and I know that at this point there's a lot of rage on the left as well because of all the suppression, oppression, etc. for this long, and you want to have legitimate conversations about the things that America has done wrong throughout history. Are you kidding me? That laundry list is enormous. On the other hand, America has also done wonderful things throughout history, and I would hope that smart people have a conversation about both of those things, right? But the part that really I object to is burning the flag, and then this quote. One of them said, this is not the American flag, this is their flag. No, exact opposite. No, the American flag is our flag. It's our flag. It stands for all the things that we believe in, equality for all, the things that are in the Constitution, freedom of the press, freedom of speech, human rights, civil rights. It stands for all those things. Now, did we always live up to that? No, but that's why we fight, so that we can live up to those principles. So those are our principles. The right wing doesn't own those principles. The right wing hates those principles. Look at what they're doing now. They have an authoritarian leader going around the world kissing up to other authoritarian leaders. They never believed in our democracy. They never believed in freedom of the press or speech. They never believed in any of the Constitution. That's our Constitution, our flag. You should fight for it instead of against it.
And it's so important that we maintain non-violent civil disobedience.
Yes.
There's just overwhelming evidence over the history of our country and movements for justice throughout the world that civil disobedience and resistance works, specifically when it's non-violent and passive, because in those ways we maintain the moral high ground.
Yeah, and you're not going to out-violent the right wing, okay? And right now they have the government in their control. You're not going to out-violent state violence. It's a terrible idea, both on morality and on effectiveness.
I'm not dubious about the story. I'm curious. There are going to be some more details about the story. The details are incredibly sketchy right now.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court has thankfully upheld it. You have the right to burn an American flag. You should unquestionably have that right to burn an American flag. But everyone who burns an American flag in America looks like an idiot. We talked earlier in this hour about propaganda, and already this story will be utilized by the right, repeated again and again and again, and those images will show up. And no question, in the march, in the resistance to fight Trump, burning the American flag today, if that story holds up and it is true, as reported, did significant damage. It was a terrible, terrible, incredibly stupid, selfish thing to do.
2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.